Hey guys, so I just wanted to come to you with a video about how accountants and bookkeepers can start using content in order to get more clients and really make people respect you a lot more so you can charge higher prices. So, a lot of people, when they're coming to me, generally they say, they've been posting on social media, like they've been posting on like Facebook, or they've created like a Facebook business page, or they've been blogging on their website, or they have like LinkedIn, and they've been just trying to put out content very religiously. The longest I've heard is someone spends like 2 to 3 hours every single day making social media content. And let's kind of break that down as to why oftentimes content does not work for you and how to make it actually work more effectively. So you're not spending that much time on content, you're able to get more clients, and you're able to be extremely effective and efficient so you can spend the majority of your time doing client work. So, number one, okay? So, a lot of people think that they just make content and then clients start falling from the sky. Now, this it might appear like that. Like if you ever see like my Facebook, right? I'll sometimes make posts where it's like I'll be like, hey, if you want XYZ thing, then just type yes. And you get a million people saying yes, 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 yes. Now that has come as a result of the work that I put in with building relationships and adding value to people, but it's not the content itself that does that. Okay. The first thing that does do that is you have to be in front of your ideal audience first in order to do that. So if you're trying to work with like we'll say photographers, if your niche like you're an accountant or you're a bookkeeper and you love working with accounting studios or sorry, photography studios and slash or solopreneur photographers, you should probably make sure that you have them inside of your audience. A lot of people what they do is they try and make content first without actually having have, excuse me, without actually having their target market seeing their posts. And then all it's being shown to is like crickets, just nobody. So first things first, you have to make sure you're getting in front of your audience. Now we have a lot of videos on this channel that show you exactly what to do step by step to start building your audience and to start making more sales. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to go and watch some other content there. Because generally on this channel, I hold nothing back because I want to add a lot of value to you, make sure that you feel like you know what you're doing, you're moving forward very confidently. And then when it's time for you and you kind of feel excited to get started work with me inside of my private mentorship program, then you move forward very swiftly and we can do so very, very decisively. Now, if you are ready to go and work with me, one inside of the private mentor program, go ahead and click on the link either above or below the video, and then it's going to take you to a link to book a call with me. And on that call, we're going to basically do is say, hey, where are you now? Where do you want to go? And I'll outline a process of what it would look like for us to work together long term for you to actually reach those goals in the shortest period possible. And if it makes sense, like we can work together. If it's not quite the right time for you for whatever reason, that's okay too. You'll have action steps of what to do so you can start making some money, so you can start moving forward with your business. And then when the time is right, we can work together. But back to what we're saying, okay? So number one, assuming you have the right people on your lists, the first thing you have to do is you need to realize that content does not necessarily move the conversation towards buying. It generally should go conversation, content, conversation, sale. Conversation, content, conversation, sale. How a lot of people think it is content, sale, content, sale. And that's where a lot of people struggle. So the first things first is you have to make sure you're actually in talks with them. So whenever you're going and you're growing your profile, like let's say for LinkedIn, for example, you need to ask them if they want some help with their accounting and bookkeeping. Now, a good percentage of them are going to say no. Probably about 90% of the people are going to say no. 1% are going to immediately say yes because they're generally in heat, meaning that they are aware that they have a problem. They don't know who they have to solve it, and they're just really waiting for the next person to go. And if you know how to do your pricing well and you're good at sales, it's very easy to convert these people, which is why you see a lot of my mentorship students like for example, JT, when he was doing LinkedIn very heavily, it was very easy for him to get clients because he was just directly going and talking to the people who were going to hire him. And then pretty immediately it was like, hey, we got a sale. Hey, we got a sale. Hey, we got a sale. Now, what happens to the other 99% of the people that said no or not right now? Your content is going to pick them up. and it's going to warm them up towards wanting to work with you. See, there's a lot of people that are going to say no to you if they don't know anything about you, they don't know you, they don't trust you. But once you start gaining their trust and once they start seeing you more often, all of a sudden their no turns into a maybe. And for us, all we're really looking for is a maybe because that means they're going to get on the phone with you to do a consultation. Now, once you do your consultation call, like as I generally, if I'm working with you, I give you a script that's supposed to show you how to warm people up and actually get them to like you on a human to human level. And then you can start talking about like, on a bookkeeping and accounting level for them to pay you. Now, it's going to be really, really easy. So the content is going to be just using it to warm them up. And then after they've been a little bit more warm, they start liking your posts, they start commenting. Then you can reach out to them again and then do a loop. Okay. We call that a loop. So you ask first, they say no. You make content, 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 content. Then when you see them like it or when you see them comment, then you reach out to them again and have a more deep conversation about how you can help them out. Then try and invite them to a consultation call. And every single time they say no, just be like, okay, cool. More content hits them, more content hits them. As soon as they start liking and commenting again, then you do the same thing. You just keep looping and looping and looping and looping. And over time, you start bringing on more clients. One, because you're connected with more people, right? So that 1% is going to immediately say yes. But then over time, 50% of those other people that said no start warming up and start getting on consultation calls. And then it's very, very easy for you to convert them over time. And that's why a lot of people like really struggle. They don't get an immediate result with their outreach and with their content, and they get discouraged and they stop. Okay. Now, if you're going to be successful, you have to understand that a lot of this stuff takes time. You're not going to immediately get to $100,000 per year in your business immediately. What it generally looks like is you're going to struggle. You're going to try and figure out things out your own. You're not going to really know what to do, and then you're probably either going to have to get some help, or you're going to, just kind of spend a lot of time trying to figure this out. And then over time, as you do the right things, it gets easier and easier for calls to be booked on your calendar. Now, let's talk about the different types of content. Okay, so number one, there's five main types of content that I like to use. Like there could be a million different versions of this, but across the internet, there's really about five different types of posts that most people like to use, and they can be done in a variety of different formats. Like they can be on a podcast, they can be on a video, they can be on a blog, they can be on a written Facebook. But these are kind of the underlying principles that allow you to build trust on the internet. Now, for me, the way I learned this was because I was trying to figure this thing out on my own with content. It was about 6 years ago, and like I kept seeing a bunch of people making content. I was like, man, I know these guys are making a lot of money, but I just don't know what they're doing. I just could, for some reason, there's like this wall where I could see it, but I couldn't copy it and I couldn't replicate it for myself. So I ended up paying this on one program. It was about 7 grand. I paid 7 grand up front for just to learn, just for them to just show me, okay, so what do you actually do with the content? How do I structure this content in order for people to not only like see it, but take action and actually like when I'm posting, right? So it basically came down to about five different types of content. Number one is what's called a value post. Number two is what's called a question post. Number three is just a straight call to action. Number four is going to be like a story slash horror story. And number five is a testimonial. Okay, so those are the five main types, and we can talk about each one. Value is basically what it sounds like. You're educating your prospect on some sort of aspect of accounting or bookkeeping that most people either don't know or something that you really enjoy talking about that you can just tell a little bit more. And you don't have to be a total expert at this stuff. Like you don't have to know a million different tax codes. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to have 40 years experience. It's just about just giving something away that the average person who's going to be working and hiring you does not know. Okay, because then every time they learn something new, they get kind of like a little epiphany or some kind of like light bulb goes off in their mind and they attach that good positive feeling to you. Now, the second main point of content is questions. Okay, so this is really, really good if you're on like Facebook. On LinkedIn, it can be good as well, but you have to kind of use them in conjunction with the other post types because LinkedIn, the way the content just style works is a little bit different. On Facebook, people are a little bit more friendly, a little bit more open to commenting, and they respond to things a lot easier because it feels more of like a family environment. Now, on LinkedIn, you can get this family environment. It's just going to take a lot more work and a lot more time, which is not a bad thing. But if you can do it, you're going to stand out. 99% of people just can't do that. Now, questions, okay, very simple. Just ask them anything. It does not have to be complicated. It can be, where are they from? It can be, how long have they been in business for? It can be, what are you most excited for this year? You know, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Right now, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Actually, Super Bowl is going on right now. I took a little bit of a break from it so I can shoot this video because I'm doing like a 90-day video marathon where I'm like shooting a video, one video every single day for 90 days. Because I really want to just add some value to you guys, really help you guys out. Now, the questions, don't overthink them. The only reason why we're doing the questions is one, to get some engagement, two, for people to just accept your friend request and just see you as this person really kind of like know and relate to. The third type is going to be a call to action. Now, this is the type that most people make, but it's the one, but without all these other types of content, it just kind of falls flat. Like, you ever watch like either a bookkeeper or another accountant, and they're like, hey, you need bookkeeping, send me a DM if you want help, or, you know, blah, 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 right? That's a little bit harder for most people to do, especially if you're just getting started. Like, you really have to be thinking about value and then being able to kind of extract that value. So with the value post, the question post, the next post we're going to talk about in the testimonial, it's building up your value. It's building up this goodwill that you have with the person who's actually like watching it. So it's almost like, imagine every single time that you post, you are either adding value into your prospects, like reciprocation bank account, or you're taking it away from it. Okay. So every single time you make a value point, you teach them something new, like the meter goes up. And then every single time you add a question and they like you, the value goes up. Every single time that you like do a story about yourself and like just talk about different things that you've seen in the industry, it goes up. Every single time that you add a testimonial and show how that testimonial came about, it goes up. That every single time that you make a call to action asking for someone to work with you, it's like the meter goes down. And if all you're doing is just asking, like, you're going to be at zero. If you never replenish that, it's very hard for you to be able to make any traction with that, because they just don't know you. They don't trust you. There's no value being added. They don't really feel like there's a reason why they should move forward with you. Okay. Now, a lot of people, they get kind of nervous about this because they're like, you know, if I just keep adding value and keep like talking and stuff, like, one, no one's going to listen to me. And two, it's just going to be a waste of time because, you know, people just don't respond to my content. Yeah, it's going to be a waste of time in the beginning. For most people, like, content does not work in the short term. It does take a little bit of time to go. And that's why whenever I work with someone inside like the private mentorship program, we don't do content in the beginning. Like JT, the guy I was talking about earlier, he didn't do content. Like, he didn't post on his Facebook or on his LinkedIn until he had $12,000 per month in recurring revenue. That means clients were paying him $12,000 every single month for his accounting and his bookkeeping services. And then he started posting content. And if you ever go on like his page, like, he'll be making posts like, hey, who wants help? And he gets like, you know, 10 to 15 people every single time commenting on those posts. But it's because he put in that value and that work up front. And now he's adding value. Now he's doing videos. Now he's doing all this stuff because he doesn't have to do it. It's just because he wants to do it. And it makes it easier for you to get clients over time. But when you're starting out, this content can be a little bit harder. But as you start making more traction, it gets so much easier because you can just drop like just basic stuff. Another type of post that adds value to people would be stories. Okay. So both positive stories of your experiences. So back either when you're working in corporate America, maybe college, your whole life story, what you learn while working the job, what you learn while working at, for a public firm, for a private firm, while you're working in the industry, any story about your life that either teaches a lesson or just connects the person with you and they just get a glimpse inside of your life and who you are. That is so important. Another type of story is a horror story. Okay, so this is like when you tell a story about a client, make sure you keep some confidentiality, like don't say your client's name, but talk about like what was the worst thing you ever saw? Like for example, JT, when he was making a post, he made a post like, yeah, man, their accounting was so bad they didn't even realize they had like $10,000 in checks that just hadn't been utilized, and like they were literally sitting there and they just hadn't actually taken advantage of the checks. That's $10,000 you just saved them because they took the dive, they paid him the money, he was really expensive, and they immediately found $10,000 in cash that they were gonna have to write off. And you can just write about it. Yeah, you know, like this person got they lost their designation because of XYZ thing. They just didn't have anything in place. horror stories? What are some bad things that can happen if people don't actually work with you? Next thing is testimonials. These can be kind of straightforward. It's just anytime that someone can see one of your students or your clients, either if someone sends you like a text message saying, thanks for your help, thanks for doing this, and slash, or even better, if you can go get a video recap or interview style testimonial, which basically you and either your client or their business partner or their family is just sitting there talking about how much you've helped them out, how much time you've been saving them, how much your expertise has helped their business move forward. Those are so valuable. They're so valuable. I cannot stress that. Those videos alone got me like, I mean, just so much money, so much money. Okay, those are different types of content posts, the 5 different types. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably like write a longer value post on my Facebook page. I'll kind of go into detail. I'll probably do like a point 2 or like a part 2 to this video, because I do want to get going. I'm getting kind of tired. I have to go and eat. And yeah, hopefully this video has been valuable so far. I'm super excited for you to be able to like just start learning more about content and learning more about marketing, because really marketing and sales is the only thing that stops you from being able to go and reach your financial goals. As soon as you learn that, and you don't even have to be a master, because I'm not a master. I'm only at what, like 6 figures, multiple 6 figures a year. I'm not at $1 million yet. I will be in probably the next 2 to 3 years, but right now, I mean, I'm not a millionaire. I'm making really great money and I'm not an expert. That just kind of goes to show you don't have to be like a 10 out of 10 marketer or 10 out of 10 salesperson. You really just have to be more of like a 5 out of 10 on like marketing, as well as like maybe like a 6 or 7 out of 10 on sales. And then you're going to be able to be at that 6-figure level, especially in an industry like ours, where one client can stay with you for what, 25 years. The longest I've ever heard of a client staying with someone was about 25 years. That's from like a mentor. Now, there's probably people who've been with the firm for longer. That just goes to show that as long as you're okay at marketing and you're able to just keep getting clients slowly but surely, and you just charge the right price, you're going to be able to get to 6 figures. It's just a matter of time. Now, if you want to speed up the time, if you want to cut down the learning process, and if you want some support and accountability along the way, go ahead and click on the link inside of the description either above or below the video to book a call with me. Again, on that call, what we're going to do is we're just going to really get a understanding of you, your business, and your goals. Okay, I need to know that in order to know whether or not I can help you. Then if I do think I can help you, then I'm going to outline a process like, hey, if we hit these 4 or 5, maybe 6 things, it's going to allow you to be able to reach your goal while still having time to breathe, relax, travel, work wherever you want, and be able to start building some of that generational wealth that a lot of people say they want, but very few actually get. And if you think it's a great fit at that time, if like just it's a mutual good fit, then we can work together. If it's not a great time at the moment or for whatever reason, that's okay too. You're going to know exactly what you need to do. And then when it's time and when you're finally ready, then we can work together long-term, accomplish this goal, and go and zoom towards your future. So if that's you, I'll see you on the call. If you're not quite ready, I recommend doing it anyway. But if you still need a little bit more trust, or you're just kind of a person that makes decisions very slowly, you probably gotta fix that. If you want to get good at sales, you got to make decisions faster, because you can't request and require other people to make quick decisions or fast decisions or very decisive action on your consultations if you can't do it yourself, because you're always going to find reasons in the back of your mind. Well, this person wants to wait. I like to wait, so they're reasonable. They're smart. So if that's you, I'll see you on the call. If not quite ready, I'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your evening. Super Bowl Sunday. Let me know in the comments, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl, either the Bengals or the Rams? And if you don't watch football, what are you excited for today? Talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.